Welcome back to Real Talk NOLA. So we're going to be talking about a movie review of The Wolverine. So Ryan, what did you think of The Wolverine?
The Wolverine was a
Yeah.
movie that I watched, and it was great.
What did you think of it compared to X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Well, see, now you're like comparing like apples to vomit. You know,
Which being the vomit?
that would be Origins.
Okay, just
yeah.
let's clarify that for the audience.
You know, that just wasn't a good movie, but you know, I don't think we need to get into it. I think everybody pretty much understands why it wasn't a great movie.
Right. But I mean, this movie was kind of done almost a little slower, like not as much action. It was like more of a drawn out real story. Just happened to have a
Yes.
superhero character.
Well, I think, this is the first thing I thought when we were going to talk about the Wolverine, is that Fox and Sony are now trying to go back and replicate what Marvel's doing by making good stories first. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
before that, when they were just like, oh, we just need to put as many mutants in there as possible, that's where Origins came up.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what happened with Spider-Man 3.
It's also happened with X-Men 3.
X-Men 3.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But now they're seeing all the greatness that Marvel is doing.
Right.
And that's why they got like Mark Miller to head up everything at Fox on Marvel related.
The comic book writer?
Yeah, the guy who did Kick-Ass.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's heading up all of the Fox Marvel movies, and now they're trying to give it this realistic base thing, kind of like how X-Men was. X-Men started like that, and then
Bryan Singer,
everything got really comic booky and just really cheesy, and then it was just all about the money and the effects. And then Marvel stepped up with Iron Man. Is like, it's not about all that stuff.
No.
It's about a story.
Right.
And so
About
now,
characters, yeah.
now that they see what's happening with the Avengers and all these other Marvel movies, how they're just telling really good stories. Now Fox is trying to do that.
And they're hinting at their way of doing that, like the end of Wolverine, where I mean, granted, Wolverine's always been part of the X-Men universe, but they're trying to
tying them together
right,
now.
retying it back together. Yeah, like we
Yeah.
separated Wolverine, now we're bringing him back into the fold, so to speak.
But see, that's actually a big reason why it makes sense that they're trying to copy, not really copy, but they're trying to emulate what Marvel's doing, which they should all just be Marvel anyways. Doesn't make any sense.
Like with Bryan Singer's Quicksilver versus Joss Whedon's Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I mean, I would love to see friggin' Wolverine in an Avengers movie. It needs to happen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, just with them doing the end credit scene now and tying all the movies together, it's like, you know, this is going to happen. Now we have an actual comic book movie genre because of what Marvel's did and what they did with the Wolverine.
Yeah, they showed it could be done.
They showed it can be done.
Yeah.
They said you can make a real movie. You could tell a real story with these fanciful characters.
Yeah, about to say, because people might say Nolan did that with The Dark Knight, but Nolan grounded so much in reality.
Yeah.
Where what the Marvel did with the Avengers, the build of the Avengers, this was almost very much like Thor, fantasy being tied into a good.
They showed it could be done.
Right,
yeah.
with a good film. Yeah.
Which is now DC's trying to figure out
how to do that with
Wonder Woman.
Right.
Because she's the same as basically
Thor.
Thor.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, Wolverine. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I thought the acting was flawless. They took one of the best Wolverine stories. I've never actually read it, but out of everything I've ever seen, the Japanese story of Wolverine is just the Frank Miller original comic was amazing.
What do you think of the? The Silver Samurai character is almost always seemed to be more grounded into a soldier, where in this one it's almost a huge, almost like Iron Man has a suit of armor.
Are we talking spoilers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it in the trailer. You see this huge.
Yeah, because I always grew
suit
up.
of
See,
armor.
I have to preface this. I never grew up reading the comics.
Right.
I grew up on the '90s show,
Right.
which was I'm more comics are great. I'm more video, film,
Same
all
here, same
stuff.
here, yeah.
So, in like the Wolverine show or like the old video games and things like that, Silver Samurai was always a guy in a suit. I mean,
Right.
he was just a badass samurai.
And they also did that. I don't know if you remember the video game Marvel vs. Capcom too.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. He was, he wasn't some gargantuan.
Which is what happened with, was it Mariko? I can't remember the girl's name, the character's name. But anyways, her father,
right.
the son of the grandfather who died and all that stuff. So he was the Silver Samurai. Silver Samurai.
Silver Samurai.
Silver Samurai? I keep wanting to say Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Well, if you the thing is really in this movie, it's not really silver. It's adamantium.
It's adamantium.
So adamantium samurai.
I don't know what, but he said, but they did have the myth. They had the myth of the silver.
Right, because they
samurai.
showed an actual suit of armor.
Yeah, and then
that
he
was-
put that on because he said that was going to protect his soul and all that.
Yeah.
It's the spirit of the silver samurai. And then the whole robot thing at the end, it worked for what it was. That was the most comic booky part
Yeah.
of the movie, but it didn't. I'd say as far as they took it.
I
That's
felt
what made it great.
that was the part of the film that pulled me out of it, because the
Yeah.
whole movie was being such grounded in this certain way,
It's so internal.
right? And
the
then
whole
this
movie.
thing just like it was like almost like Iron Man flying in at the end and doing something. It just didn't
Yeah.
fit the way the movie was going.
Yeah, it didn't, but then it also did for the reason.
Yeah, because it's a
that's-
technology company.
Yeah.
Hashiyada or whatever it was. It
And
was very technology.
How they were using that to,
Right.
using adamantium to break adamantium and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I mean, because how are you going to steal Wolverine's life source unless you get into his bone marrow?
bone marrow, which is
Yeah.
such a
which-
critical part of your DNA and things like that.
Exactly. So I
RNA,
thought,
excuse me. Yeah.
so that really made sense. But the movie overall, man, it was a great slow pacing movie.
Right.
You really saw a human side of Logan,
Right.
which been wanting to see
Yeah.
for I don't know how long. It didn't have mind erasing bullets, which was good. Just always good. I like the lack of mutants in it too.
Yeah.
There was only really one mutant.
Well, no.
Or
three.
well, technically there was including Wolverine.
Yeah.
But there was really only two that were in the movie outside of him.
Yeah, let's say three total.
Yeah, three
There was
total.
the Viper character and the other
Who's
character.
really not a mutant in the comic books.
Yeah, but they were playing it off in
Yeah.
they're playing it there.
And
as a
also
mutant.
it's weird because she's actually more of a Captain America.
villain, yeah,
Villain.
Hydra villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain America Avengers.
But
villain.
what they did, it's like what they did was like, we're gonna go steal this character so Marvel can't use him, because once they use
Yeah.
him, Marvel can't.
Yeah, and I thought she was actually pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I love seeing just the claws versus the
Metal.
swords.
Oh, so, yeah.
The friggin'
That was so
samurai
BA,
swords.
yeah.
It's good stuff.
But I think I gave it a matinee if you're a comic book fan, and a DVD if you're not. I've changed it to just matinee. Everyone should go see this movie. It's just really good, fun movie. Because I mean, it's fun, but yeah, it's also like very serious tone movie.
It is.
So both types of people should enjoy it.
I think everybody would enjoy it. I don't know if I can even separate the comic book fans. I'd say just go see it.
Yeah.
I say go see the movie.
Yeah, matinee. Go see it. I mean,
Yeah, you don't have to worry about 3D.
Yeah.
But just go see the movie.
Yeah, go see the movie. Go get like a $5 morning show at 8.
I don't know. I went at like 10 o'clock at night. It was great.
Well, anyway, we'll be back with more here at Real Talk NOLA.